What's up, everybody? Midjourney Fast Hours Podcast, episode 41. Rory Flynn, Drew Brucker, and my beautiful glass milk jug bottle.
Like that.
How we liking that?
Very old school, very milkman.
We drink out of glass over here, man.
I like that. Yeah.
You know?
I agree. You know, we try to do like the whole, like, let's get rid of like a lot of our plastic stuff. And then before you know it, it's just like there's more plastic somehow.
Yeah. Well, my wife has been pretty about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, she's holding me accountable on it. I think we're at the point, age wise, and also into this concept where if we find a nice glass bottle, I don't care what it came in or where we got it from or what label's on it, we're probably keeping it. We'll just take the label off, clean it, and all that. I mean, it's a good glass bottle. All right, keep it.
It's gonna last.
Because the plastic stuff. And did you see this stuff come out about like Ziploc and all that too, where they were talking?
I'm sure it's not good.
Ooh, boy, there's
sure it's not good.
Boy, Ziploc is talking about cooked. Ziploc is cooked. They were basically saying, I'm going to do a terrible job at this, but like at this point in life, like people have, what is it? It's like it's size of a
credit card. Like
I think it's bigger than that. Yeah, but it's like in the
right.
brain now, right? Like they're
cool.
like that much, right? And
Sick.
it's like, oh, okay, cool. How's that happen? But anyway, Ziploc, extreme cold temperatures, extreme heat, really starts to bring all that like microplastic into the food.
Oh,
and then also, right, because that happening, that's where you get all those brain, diseases, Alzheimer's, all this shit. So it's like, oh, okay, like makes total sense. Actually, would have not actually surprised to hear that at all. Checks out. That tracks.
so I never I look at the microwave and I'm like, how is that good? Like
I've been looking at that shit since I was a kid, and I'm like, this feels so wrong.
And it's like stuff in bags, like the TV dinners when you're like hard plastic and soft plastic. Just like, how can that be good? Like just microwaving at extreme heat, just plastic.
And I was guilty, right? Like you heat up those like plastic containers that are maybe leftovers. Yeah, like hot pocket, anything. Dude, it's terrible for you. If you're hearing this stuff for the first time, I'm sorry. And we're also not crazy. This is checked out. But that's a whole rabbit hole in itself. Also,
that's like
one other.
I was gonna say those memes where it's like the European mind can't fathom. It's like you also can't fathom how disgusting some of the stuff we've done for 30 years is. Like you'd be ashamed of. Like I'm ashamed to say some of the stuff that I put in the microwave.
And we've both lived in fraternity houses, so we've been at the bottom. Like we used to make jokes that like in our basement where we threw parties, it was just like the cure for cancer is in this basement.
Yeah,
just haven't found it yet. It's like in here. It's like in these drains, in these couch cushions somewhere. But
it's so true. Like soup, you just eat like those microwavable soup things. There was like in plastic,
and
like
the ramen and
Campbell, whatever it was.
All that. The metal cans. You also had the styrofoam stuff.
Styrofoam. Oh god, we're so bad.
Yeah.
I have
just heat it up and
organism.
Throw it right in that food, baby. Dude, you know what messed me up though is when I was really discovering this stuff for the first time. I don't know, this is maybe like 10 years ago now, but I watched also like this documentary on Netflix about clothes.
Yeah, clothes. Yep,
the clothes stuff, and I was like, oh, fuck me up, fam. Like we're just doing this nonstop, right? You got the food, you got the clothes. Then there was like the whole.
Everything,
toiletries, like anything in the bathroom, right? Soaps,
scented stuff,
fragrance, all your skins and organs, soaking it up. It's just like, dude, what are we doing?
Growing up in the '90s, I mean, like we have to be more resilient because we've doused our body with more chemicals, internal and external, than any other generation. Like we just put everything.
I kept Flamin' Hot Cheetos in business single-handedly for a good decade.
They're still good. I still will eat them. Same thing with Doritos. I don't know what they are, but they taste good every once in a while. I mean, I'll eat them
the original
3 times a year. Yeah, that's it. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Cool Ranch are good, but they're not the original. Yeah.
There's certain things you just have to like deal with the consequences. Reese's peanut butter cups for me. I will eventually just deal with the consequences. I don't eat them every day. I eat them like once every like 2 months, but they're damn good when I eat them.
Dude, I love me some Reese's peanut butter cups though.
Yeah. I knew this, when I worked in, this is just like, sorry for everyone listening to us about, American problems here. But like when I worked in product licensing. I won't say which company because I don't know if they're gonna, hear this. But I remember we were making my job in licensing. If anyone's not familiar with that industry, is like you take a brand and then you find a manufacturer and you put them together for like brand extension. So we take like X brand and then we go find a ice cream company and then we'd blend them. So it'd be like, someone who makes ice cream would do like a Reese's flavor of ice cream, right? Like I wasn't Reese's. I'm just using it as an example. But when we had to go through the product approval and like the packaging said ice cream, the company came back and said, we can't use ice cream. I'm like, what do you mean it's an ice cream? That's what it is. They're like, no, we have to use the term frozen dairy dessert because it's not actually like 30% cream. It's like 50% chemical in this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, that's disgusting. It's like you find out some of the other ingredients that are in like both sides and you're like, oh no, I don't want to be a part of this. This is like poison. Here we are.
That's what happened. That's what happens, man. They messed. They put Philip Morris, all those people from the cigarette and tobacco industry. They put them in the food industry and they just let them go. But
we're the best,
man. What is this like? Well, yeah, I guess like somebody would call this a conspiracy, but these are facts, people. Anyway,
speaking of conspiracy, did you happen to see the stuff on Claude 4 Opus and what's going on with that model?
I briefly, but tell us.
Apparently, like it's very strong and like confronted with its, and I might butcher this, like confronted with its own potential deletion at some point in the future was like
right, like we're going to shut you off, and
like blackmailing employees, like sending automated emails to like key decision makers, and I'm like, it's like, oh, Claude, it's a little spicy, wasn't it? I always thought of Claude as like they
were doing things the moral,
scholar.
The moral, ethical, kind
good
of
writer, like maybe like a liberal arts major. Like not necessarily, but then also the coding is so good. But it's like this, I never saw it as like being, I don't want to say dangerous, but like I look at Grok, I'm like, oh, that has potential. Look at ChatGPT, like probably just, gaslighting me at all, corners of the internet. And then there's, you look at something like, I figured like Llama would be the one that would just like, I'm going to ruin everything because it's Facebook.
Right.
How much crap has it been exposed to, and like how much trauma does it have from Facebook? So it's weird. Like I just didn't see Claude as being the one that's like, I'm gonna screw with you guys, just like waiting in the background. So that one got me a little bit. We're at like a weird point now. I think
we are. We were talking about this pre-hand. I mean, like. Obviously, we're big advocates for AI. Also, you don't really have a choice, right? So, I mean, there is a level of like you have to embrace this regardless, or what it means for you, what it means for you right now, what it means for you in the future. If you've got a family, right? What does this look like? But it's like, I don't know, man. It feels like we're on that back half of the 9, right? Where it's just like this kind of feels like to me where we're getting to the back half of this golden age, figure it out. This is a lot of fun, wild, wild west. There are no real boundaries, a lot of like gray areas kind of feel like almost, look, I was a kid during the internet era and like having the whole AOL thing, but there were a lot of like really interesting liberties and creatives, and like no one really could totally wrap their arms around what's happening and the totality of it yet. And this is that on a larger scale. And now it kind of feels like just, man, what's happening in 10 years? What's happening when I'm 60 or 70? Like, I literally can't even fathom it at this point. Like, my mind can't even go there. And I'm just thinking, like, the compounding speed in which this stuff's happening. Like, you're starting to see people or companies really start to lay off, portions of people, white-collar jobs now.
Yeah.
So that's starting to happen. That's only going to increase, right? But what does this look like in 5 years, 2030? And when you really think about it, AI should be able to do almost any job at some point, task. So who's going to be the one to decide what it actually is going to do and not do, right? Because you obviously aren't going to have to do everything, but you want it to do most things. And then who's going to decide those things? And then what does that look like for, there's obviously going to be new jobs that come out of that, but what are those wages going to be? Are we still working 5-hour days? I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. And then now with the kids, obviously you can relate to this, but it's just like, is my kid ever going to drive a car? Is my kid going to go to college?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Good question.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Are they going to at a certain point, are they going to see a real doctor anymore? Or is that just going to be like,
right.
you get like diagnostic scanned and like diagnosed with something and then like bang, like I don't know. I think you want to know what's a weird thought I had the other day? There's like a weird Midjourney deep hours. I was just like,
deep.
Yeah, right. I was thinking about it as like all these jobs that they were going over all the jobs that were I was forgetting who I was listening to that were going to be replaced or whatever. I was like, we have just created so many ways to employ people. Do you know what I mean? Like go back 100 years. What was it like?
Yeah,
100 jobs maybe. Like there was like make the food, make the products, make the like build stuff. And like clean up and like like that was that maybe more than 100 years. I take that back. 200 years, right? Like there is for every
even before computers, right? Like
there
were only so many things that you could do with just tangible everything versus digital.
Yeah, and now we manufacture. You think about all the manufacturing sub jobs. Then there's the internet. How many sub jobs there are? There wasn't a social media team. Now, then you needed asset teams and you needed copywriters and you we've just done an awesome job as a race of like getting people to be employed outside of like farming, building stuff and like and keeping things clean, and then like governing. And like that was to me when you look back at it, I was like all that. And, kind of everyone was more self-sufficient. Like you grew your own food, you produced your own energy, you built your own house. Now it's like we have someone for every little task. Can you imagine like 200 years ago, someone being like, oh, can you fix my plumbing? Like they didn't have plumbing. You know what I mean? Now there's a plumber, but then there's a whole industry that supports a plumber, makes all these stupid little products for every little thing imaginable. And then there's someone who has to concept those products, engineer those products. Like it's just a weird, deep thought I had. And I'm like, it can't replace everything. Like there's so much. And I think people you get lost in how much we work as a species. Like we do a lot of stuff. And there's no way to quantify that. Like, what do 4 billion people do every day? It's like some stuff is so specialized. I don't even think it's possible to.
But I think like the real scary part, right, is we're not there yet, but we will be shortly when AI is smarter than any single entity, person on this planet. And then how do you control something that you built that is now smarter than you?
Yeah.
I still don't really have an answer for that. And also, if there is an answer for that, somebody's still in charge of that. And who's in charge? Because ultimately, that's going to sort of determine sort of the direction we go in here. Like if I were to come up with 10 scenarios right now, looking into the future of whether or not this is going to be a good thing, I think 8 of them are negative. Like I'm just like... There's so many things have to be understood and coming from a moral place and in the right hands and to really, I think, to wield this properly. And let's face it, I don't think anybody here has had, this type of power in their hands, right? Generally speaking.
It does. This moment feels like the moment like when social media when social media was fun, like leading up into this, which is when like you had like MySpace and like the beginnings of Facebook, and it was like you didn't know what you were doing, you were just screwing around with your friends.
What was that other one? There was another one. It was like maybe there was an X in it. I want to say there was like an X in it.
There was MySpace, Facebook. Those are the two I remember like clearly. getting Facebook in high school and being like, what is this? And then sort of progressing into Instagram and then sort of progressing into, Snapchat and whatever else. But it was like once, because I remember Instagram being like, oh, this is the cool place where your parent, or like there was no old people. It was just like Instagram. And then Instagram became like our generation turned it into influencers. Like we turned it into a business. And then,
Friendster.
That's when it changed.
Friendster. But Zanga.
Oh, I don't remember
that.
I don't know if I remember Zanga.
No,
Xanga.
Zanga.
Don't remember.
Yeah, it was like
one.
if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a MySpace, but I think it was like a Tumblr before Tumblr.
Okay. Well, I remember Tumblr. Does Tumblr even exist still?
That was think so.
No, Tumblr was an interesting one there.
How old do you think LinkedIn is? Take a guess.
It's got to be like 2001, 2,
Close.
maybe
3. Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, I remember it being around.
I feel like that would be a hard one to guess. Like LinkedIn doesn't feel like it's been around that long, but it has.
Because I was in college, and they were like, you have to make a LinkedIn profile, and that was 2007. So I was like, I figured it had to be around before that, but probably functionality way different than what it is now in terms of like, I don't remember it being like just like it was just resumes, but like I remember it functioning a lot differently. Maybe that's just me. It doesn't look that different.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm fully on board with the idea that LinkedIn hates its users and refuses to do anything for us. Actually, like we've been posting on there for a long time. There's a lot of people that have, but it's like they never seemingly listen to the people for what they want for the platform. They don't share what they're doing with the platform. They'll roll out things in like this stealth beta type mode and then rip them out of your hands without saying a word about it. And it's just like, what are we doing? I don't even know what we're doing here. They'll change the algorithm for the worst, which is not uncommon based on these social platforms. But it's like, dude, what are we doing? You don't care. I don't even know if they have a department working on this stuff. It feels like most of the time.
But like the thing is, unless you're a recruiter, minus the content, why are you on LinkedIn? Like that's what I don't understand. Is like unless you're on there looking to hire people all the time, or trying to get a job, what else keeps you on the platform other than the content? Like, that's it. That's the thing. Like that's what keeps most of your user time on there. That's where most of your ad dollars come from. That's where just to me, it doesn't make sense as to why they don't focus on like building that program more.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they had a real good window too. I mean, they probably still do have a window, but that resurgence after COVID where it just seemed like more and more people were getting comfortable posting on there and content. It was really sort of like a little bit of a rocket ship. You had that great reach.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Oh God, you remember that? It was so like
easy.
God, it was so easy to get like 100,000 impressions. At that time, there was a period of time that was just like, oh my God, I already know this is gonna, this is gonna cook, dude.
Get like 100,000 impressions with like 5,000 followers. Now, with 100,000, I'm lucky if I get 40 or 50 impressions, 40 or 50,000.
Well, you're still doing really good content. I don't post most of the content like I used to. I did a lot more carousel stuff. I did do one recently. I'm actually curious what I did get in terms of impression count on that now that I'm thinking about it, because it's going to be way, way low compared to what we used to get.
Well, they make it hard too. Like the other day I was trying to figure out a format that worked. Like I want to do like the way that like how you can do threads and you can like on X and you can do like a video and an explanation, a video and an explanation, a video and an explanation. Like that makes it so easy to do video content that has like a story to it versus just like here's one full piece like a TikTok style explainer video where you can't like really go into depth. You can, but most people don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's not that great anyway, the stuff that I've seen. But I was like trying to do that on LinkedIn. I'm like, I can't like post a thread because they bury the comments. So I can't like tell the story in the comments and post the video. It's just like now I have to go and create like some sort of like pseudo explainer video.
I do think it would be like it would be interesting for them to explore that thread format.
Yeah, or at least like upload like multiple videos that you can just like string together with like a description, because like that to me on X is like the best. It's like the best way to show stuff. It's like, oh, okay, here, this,
Yep.
and it's easy because it's all like
it's compartmentalized. Yeah.
And
then it's it collapses and so it doesn't look like it's too much. It's fed to you. This post with the carousel, 329 engagement, 33 comments, 18 reposts, 36,000 impressions now.
Pretty damn
like
good,
I would
dude.
say like a bad post 2 years ago was 36,000.
Oh yeah, the 36 was I was like this sucked, this bombed.
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh okay, like that's the average.
It's crazy.
You know? It is nuts. Because even, I look at some of this stuff and everyone's like, oh, look at these guys complaining about their impressions and stuff. But it's knowing what used to be that way and what's not that way anymore. Like getting, like I post here from 2 months ago, 6,000 likes and 504 reposts. It got 589,000 impressions. That used to be like 5 million impressions. Like they used to just like let that thing go. And now they just don't. They just like cut it off at the knees. You get 1 hour.
You get 1 hour now.
Like,
zing. You get 1 hour now. Whereas before it seemed like that first hour really was indicative of the half-life of it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what they did. They throttled the hell out of that thing. Either way.
X is totally different. Like X to me is like, I get nothing in the first hour. And then like as it, like over time, it just starts to build. And it's like, the more it picks up over time, the more it like goes versus like, it's just based on the first hour. Here's like your adrenaline hit and then off a cliff. Because, it's a great thing about YouTube too. It just goes in perpetuity. Like there's no burying it once it's posted. It's there forever, and it still continues to grow. But I was wondering if there's going to be like a new social media that pops up out of all of this. Thinking about just sort of how things have evolved and kind of been in a stagnant period where the most recent one was like Threads. Like from Meta, like I don't know, like another popular.
I mean, everybody was so excited about it, but then you realized it was like, oh, this is the same thing. And then we were thinking Mark Zuckerberg's going to turn this into a gold mine here, right? Like, he hasn't done anything since Facebook in terms of like things that have really taken off. Anytime there's something, it always seems like it's underwhelming or it doesn't do anything.
Just acquired stuff, like they acquired WhatsApp, they acquired Instagram, they acquired just keep like building that way. Then I guess that's smart in a way. It's just it's tough to keep that up.
It's like a different goal, just like maximizing revenue at all costs.
Yeah.
Man, I do think something else is coming. I wonder if it's now or if it's like 2 years from now. But I do think like what we have now feels like these could be legacy platforms.
Yeah, like you see it. Like you see interest waning on, like you saw how it happened with Facebook. It just like
something will die. Something will die here soon.
Yeah, Facebook won't because of the ad reach. Like that's why you're there. If you're a brand, like you're not just sitting there posting on your Facebook brand page or they're advertised on there on Instagram, right? And then like TikTok changed it the way that was. The algorithm is so favorable to people, which is like I don't understand why people wouldn't want to do that. Like just. Why the goal is to restrict views when the goal should be to increase views for people, because then you just create more. That's the truth, But I was wondering if someone would do like I'm sure it probably already exists, like AI only stuff, like an AI only like generated social media, or like why did some of these social media or some of these AI tools haven't instituted like their own sort of like the way Midjourney has the create and discover page. Like if you had a profile that you could post to, like I'm sure people would use that and like that and be all over it. Like it might be individual to the platform. Like I think Kling does something like that. I think Minimax does something like that, but no one uses it.
Yeah,
or maybe they do. I don't know. But there's just like things we're not even thinking of yet that are going to change. Like again, on the deep hours side of things here, I was thinking about like, does email exist in 5 years? Like.
It's good. You're right. That's always a good question. I will say this. I think that's an interesting question too, because the last 2 in-house jobs I've had, email has not been as active as it has been historically.
Yeah, Slack.
Yes, email still coming. Yeah. But it's mostly Slack. You've got the async components. You're probably using another tool like a Notion or project management and just whatever that stack is. Like, it just doesn't really feel like you need it that much.
What happens when the 2D flat screen goes away? That's what I mean. Like, you think about that. Like, we're not going to have a computer forever. Like, it's not going to be. That's not going to be it. Is it going to be glasses? Is it going to be spatial? Is it going to be?
Doesn't the glasses thing feel interesting, but can you imagine everybody wearing glasses though?
I think it's interesting because it feels the least invasive.
It feels like I wonder if it's like a the Black Mirror-ish type thing where maybe it's like sort of like a lens, like a contact lens.
It'll get there, I think. Everything gets smaller, but I feel like the VR goggles it's so weird because you get so disoriented when you put them on. Like our brain just like is like, what is this?
Yeah.
But like the glasses doesn't feel as invasive. It's like, oh, I'm just integrating with what's already happening outside. So maybe I've always seen that as like, oh, that was a good pivot for whoever was doing it. It's like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. Like I might be more willing to do that than to put the VR goggles on. Probably that than put a chip in my brain too. Like I don't know if I'm there yet.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if
I'm definitely not there yet.
Like, thinking of like what happens if you have exposure to like electromagnetism or whatever, and your chip just freaks out and then done, dead. I could have the power of the world in my fingertips.
Did you ever see that series Altered Carbon?
Yeah, I remember watching it like 8 years ago or whenever the hell it came out. I totally forget what it was about, but I feel like it was about something like.
Did you watch it though? Did you watch it through?
I don't remember. I honestly
didn't watch the second season. I remember, at least for me, was like awful. I didn't watch it. I cut it off. I think Anthony Mackie might have actually been in that second. That second season, but that first season, shoot, man, that was great. That was great. That was before its time, really, too, because you could put that on right now and still feel a little ahead of its time.
Have you been watching The Studio on Apple TV?
Yeah, I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up to date on it.
That episode with the AI, where it was like the whole episode was based around like fitting the racial stereotypes of the cast and like making sure that things were racist, weren't racist.
Yeah.
If anyone's not familiar with this in America right now, like that is a fairly accurate, I think, sort of conversation that happens in most companies. And then like they went through this whole episode of like making sure that every character was like represented and like wasn't in the same way, and they get up on stage and announce it. And then everyone's like, I heard you used AI instead of real artists, and then like the whole thing goes to shit. So it's like, you can see that happening, right? Like no matter what you do, something's wrong. But the AI conversation, it's still very, even to make it there into that and be very prevalent. And I think that's a real response right now to what you're going to see if people start saying like, yeah, we use 100% AI and like no artists. Like you're going to see that pushback. Like I'm seeing it, even from like,
yeah, just because you can doesn't, and that's, I think, it's just because you can doesn't mean you should. Right. Yeah. So how are those decisions made? And then like at some point, have we gone too far and then it's hard to rein that thing back in?
Yeah. That was like those Instagram photos I sent you the other day from the wildlife photographer. And I was like, AI just can't do that. Like that's too good. That's too real. And I look at some stuff and I'm like, it's not there. But there's so much low budget content that AI can't do. Like that's just like brain rot, like no need for anyone to spend, invest in. And I was sorry to say that some of the stuff is. It like really is. And machine can do that. If we're just putting out content for the sake of putting out content, then we can find a job for AI there. But we've created this.
This is the era of mediocre content being created.
Yeah. And you see so much of it. Speaking of that, if I see one more post that's just we're cooked or we're done or X product is done, it's just like, how do people still just see that after seeing it 1 billion times and are like, yeah, I'm going to click on this and read it? It's like,
it's the most brutal, engagement baiting posts that exist on the internet right now.
It's almost as bad as Game Changer back when ChatGPT first came out, and it just said everything was a game changer.
Yeah.
Every single thing. But we've ranted everyone. Sorry, that was what we call half of Midjourney deep hours right there, where Drew and I have some random thoughts that.
Well, I think there's like, look, there's an interesting jump that we talked about last week, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of things to get into tactically, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know. For Midjourney specifically, I guess what I'm looking for is it seems like they still haven't rolled out that sort of like multi-piece omni-reference update. And it sounded like, based on like office hours that they were having some trouble with that.
Yeah.
You've got some things that are still going to be maybe seen in the short term. They were talking about like the SREF update. That's cool. Right. But like, I don't know. V7 really hasn't shaken out the way from its totality that I thought it might. And I know like now they're already talking about V8. They're already talking about V8. So it's like, okay, but I don't know.
What is V8 though?
It doesn't feel as exciting as it did when we were in V6 and we're talking about V7. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I don't even know what to expect now. Now they are talking a lot about their video update. They're talking about June.
Mm-hmm. That they said June? Is that what I was listening
I saw
yesterday?
in the office.
I missed June, but
let me pull up this office hours on the video. So what's in the notes here? We've got we've got, let's see, where's this at? Initial testing, community ranking. Okay. Video model release, launch targeted for June, contingent upon availability of new server farms. First batch arriving within a week. So it sounds like just maybe the infrastructure part of it's holding it back at this point.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I have no idea what to expect with that. In typical Midjourney fashion, they don't really tell you too much either, other than, they've talked about multiple video resolutions. They've talked about a couple different maybe ways to get there, right? Text to video, image to video, sure. But beyond that, haven't heard much.
Two interesting thoughts from this. What I did hear David say yesterday, maybe I'm misconstruing it because of my own bias, because we've talked about it on here, but there was sort of the inference that like there will be Midjourney baked into this, like how we were talking about, like we just want some Midjourney magic that's a little differentiator. Like he's sort of, if I'm reading between the lines correctly, sort of, they always have to do something a little bit different. So I think he kind of confirmed that, which I was excited about it. And the other thing, going back maybe like 2 months when they were talking about video, remember when he was like, we could do a really high quality model. It's just going to be really expensive. And like, what would you pay?
Yeah.
And we were both along the thought process of like, if it was like $150 a month, $200 a month.
Yeah. If you doubled it, I'd probably,
that's where we'd go.
If it were good. Yeah.
Look at VO3. What's that pricing point? That price point, people are paying for it, because it's quality. So I think either he knew what was going on at Google and like had seen stuff or like gotten wind of it, or probably knows people there, and that's sort of like, oh, we could put this quality at this level with this price and still turn a profit, or we could do it sort of like a different way, like Minimax, right, where Minimax is way cheaper per gen and it's still serviceable. So,
I mean, I think like the one thing he's always sort of like anchored back on when talking about video is we're not going to do this if it's not the best quality when it releases. So I mean, if that is still true, I would 100% jump
especially
right
if it's
into
fun, especially if it feels less technical than some of these can feel.
And let's just face it, like for a lot of people, Midjourney is just a much more comfortable ecosystem because we've been using it for so long, right?
Yeah, totally. And like it's weird. Like you go through all the platforms and you start to see things you like and you don't like. Like I've grown to sort of like Luma's like brainstorm sort of situation there. It's, to me, it's nice to have versus having to like sort of think everything off the top of my head and just sort of take it in different directions. Luma's UX UI to me is still weird the way that it works. Like I still find myself like getting lost in there on certain things that should be simple, like rerunning a prompt, like things like that. But you look at Kling and I'm like, oh, Kling is pretty accessible, but then you start looking at their website and there's a million things on there now. Like VO2, I think we talked about this last week. It's just like there's 3 things you can do.
Yeah,
like, that's about it. So it makes it clean. You go back to like the simpler days. But I'm wondering if they're going to do this. I wonder if it's going to be integrated into the same platform that everything is on images, or if it's going to be separate like they did the editor. I feel like they might do it that way, just to sort of not have to, just to get something out and not have to screw around with all the UX. But it's like, I don't know how they're going to do it. I just don't.
And
feel so foreign.
Yeah, I mean, typically, like how they release it too is they always kind of say, this feels like a alpha or beta version of it, so we're going to continue to improve it. So I don't know if that's just like slick positioning in the terms of like don't get your hopes up too high kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we're just going to ship it, but I wonder if they'll treat video the same way. Because we were talking about that last time. It's like you kind of have one really, really good shot with the impression here, especially for people that aren't Midjourney loyalists in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is your dip in the water. And then again, if you go into video, now you're getting thrown in with the rest of the sharks there in terms of the velocity and pace, and that's where again, and that's where again, like having something that different does offset a little bit of that. But
yeah, it's interesting. Because like you see some of these open source models too that are coming out, and like I've tried some of them. They're okay. Like you can do a lot with them. I see a lot of people doing interesting things with them, more so in the comfy space than anywhere else. But it's like I don't know what to expect there. And if it's like, the thing about Google is Google can go into VO3 and like VO3 could suck and they could scrap it and nothing's bad. Like they can just continue as casual business day.
Yeah, they got so much money.
Yeah. Like Midjourney, I don't know if they can survive. If it is just terrible, which I don't think they'd release it if it was terrible. I think they're self-aware enough to release something that's quality. They'll just delay it like they did V7. And I still love. I think V7 just still doesn't get enough sort of credit for how good it is. Like that stuff I was doing.
It is good. I just wish I wish my profile was better, but I also like I probably could, like I do have multiple options with personalization to go back and build out a new one. I do have two others. I don't really love those either, but I could, try to go back and build another one. It's just I don't feel like the ranking system, even though it wasn't great to begin with, it like I've always historically in the past really liked my codes.
Yeah,
and
I thought
this
the
time
were better.
This time, not right, and I'm pretty much ranking them the same way I'd always ranked them. So
yeah, I find myself using a combination of 3 on every prompt. Like it's 3 personal as close. It's one that's super gritty, it's one that's super soft, and then there's one that I just sort of like is the wild card that. They seem to balance each other out well.
Give me something to prompt, bro, because I have 544 fast hours to burn.
Holy, what? 544?
544.
Damn, dude, you're accumulating.
544, and I'm not gonna,
I just run stuff on turbo and like R40 on like SREF random, which.
But then you get the problem of like you got to go through all of it.
Yeah. That would be,
so it's like in theory it's great. It's also like, damn, you still got to spend a lot of time curating, going through it. And it's like, what do I care about here?
I'm curious now that we just mentioned the SREF random. What does it say on office hours? Because David said that SREF is going to get better. Okay. I personally think it's awesome. I don't know how much better it gets. Like what?
All it says here is major improvements to SREF nearly complete, significantly enhancing usability and functionality. What do you think that means?
I'm so curious because
from a usability and functionality standpoint, what are you gonna? Is this a like quick trigger to codes that you like? And if so, like I could just go in and, if that's the case, right, like build out my own folder in the organizer archive tab of that. Doesn't really feel like I don't know what else to expect there, but usability and functionality, compatibility with Moodboards confirmed, and then potential early release without the advanced S referendum feature being considered. I don't know what that is.
Referendum? Oh, SREF random? Maybe it mistranslated.
No.
On the
maybe
call note thing. Yeah.
Maybe they used AI for it because it says referendum.
Because that could be SREF random. It sounds
SREF random. I think that's right, buddy. I think that's right.
But because to me, SREF is like the most straightforward feature on the entire platform in terms of like what it does. It's like you apply this style, and then style weight 0 applies none of it, and style weight 1,000 goes to the extreme. Like and it is gradual in terms of like that scale. I feel like it's the most predictable thing that I do on there is using SREF. You know, I don't know what it is. It's like, too much style. Style weight 50. Oh, that works. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just
100%.
It's like image weight still like could be a wild card. Is this a 0.4 or is this a 1.3? Because sometimes that's there. Omni reference is totally sort of like trial and error at this point. I just think that one is the most like rock solid of the features on there. Chaos again, so variable. Like and EXP variable. Like,
love me some EXP.
Yeah,
love me some EXP.
Been loving EXP though. I think it's fun to have this one back in the mix. It's not like weird.
What do you want to run? What do you want to run with? We can just unlock some SREF codes here too while we're at it.
Unlock.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Let's see.
By the way, I did run. Taking you back to that shot you were talking about. I did run just like a simple National Geographic award-winning photography here.
Oh, that's sick. That one with the fire too.
Yeah, with some pretty interesting.
That's good
results.
Oh, I like this. No profile, just straight up.
Oh, did I not? I didn't have profile on. No, I didn't. Oh, damn! It turned it off for me. Why? Yeah, no profile. Actually, now I kind of want to run this.
Run it
with it. Let's do this because I ran 16.9, 9.16. Further proof, if you already know this, if you're watching this, but that you don't need complicated big prompts to necessarily get great stuff, right? There are definitely some things that have always worked, which award-winning blank seems to always hit. National Geographic's always hit. So, all right, I got this. Let's just run this. But now I'm running EXP permutation on everything. I want to know. I gotta see,
because it has to have the wild card feature.
These are sick.
There's so many good ones, man. Like this is what I'm talking about with V7. Like
there's so much
to unlock when it's
not. Love that.
So much to unlock when it's not like.
Bro, I could just literally. Hey man, let me pretend like I'm a National Geographic, like a photographer applying to be a National Geographic photographer at this point. I mean, you could, good. Right? Like, because you could take these into Photoshop or Lightroom and really fuck these up.
Look at that with the eyes. That's cool. Like crazy. I like that a lot, even though that's probably not realistic, but I just like the direction.
Oh, and I ran these at higher stylized than I wanted to too, but
this is dude, it's bringing the blue and pink in, like from your style code.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to run it that high. Let me do that. I'm going to do this one more time here. So let's do.
I can't believe yours is that consistent.
Let's take this down to like 90.
Yeah.
XP. Let's run it up. We'll do the. What do you mean consistent?
Like it is blue and pink in like every picture.
It's annoying.
That would make me nuts.
Don't know how we got there, bro. Don't know how we got there. All right, let me see. Is this what I want? Let's double check everything here. I want to take this down to 100 now, default. All right. Yeah, let's run this.
You know what you could do? Here's an interesting experiment for you to do. Like, you have like your folder of all your favorites, right? Like or your likes or whatever.
I haven't been liking for so long. Okay. I remember I changed my strategy a long time ago, which I hate myself for, but it's like once you go down it, you don't want to really turn back, which was anything I liked, I upscaled.
Okay.
There was a period of time where I treated likes like. So I knew, right, especially when they had remember the emojis where it was like,
yeah,
okay,
Discord days.
If I really like it, this is a 5, right? If I, kind of like it, this is a 4, right? But yeah, I haven't done that. So I just upscale them. That's how I would search mine now.
Because you could build. I did this with a mood board, and it was actually pretty good. I just took like all of my favorite images and just dropped it into a mood board. As like a style boot because it's so all over the place, like from like style variants and.
So you're thinking almost in a sense like a quasi like personalization in a sense because if you have enough variability with images that you like, kind of.
And you definitely have variants, right? Like you're doing this, but you're also doing, nuns with a gun, and then they're also
nuns with a gun. Damn, these have really turned out even better than I thought.
Ooh, that's stag. I like that.
Yeah,
that's even that.
These are wild.
Know what it is. It's so good, man. Like that giant insect.
That's good. What is this? And this? What is going on? It was that EXP 100. Yeah, it's dope.
Because some of these. I mean, dude, your profile code really is blue and pink. Like I just see it in everything now. I can't. Oh yeah. I can't turn away from it.
Let's just run a bunch of random shit. Dribbble.com is always a fun one.
Interesting. Because, dude, try the. Do you want to? So
give me something simple. Like, let's just kind of like because I think what could be interesting is we could run like just baseline token keywords here that just absolutely slap. Like, I mean. Like we were talking about, it's like award-winning photography, award-winning anything, generally speaking, works pretty well.
Typically.
National Geographic works pretty well if you're going for that type of,
Yeah. Like
vibe, outdoors, landscapes, animals.
Gritty fashion photography.
People, like tribes, all that stuff, right?
Yeah. All that stuff is incredible.
Dude, look at this one. This one's wild.
Look at that. Dude, Midjourney does have a tendency to produce goats. Too. Don't know what that's about. But
this is wild.
I also have another question for you. When you go and rank images, how much like demonic stuff do you get, or is that just me? Like I get like
not much.
I get so much like goat and antichrist looking things in my personalized.
Let's go in here. Let's go in here.
Because I'll see like if I go rank 100 images, I'll get like 25 of them. Just some like real dark stuff. And like I don't know why, but maybe that's just me. And I feel like some of the when you rank, like I'll see some of the same images that I see.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting. But there'll be times when I get to like, goat horns and upside down star. Like it's like why is that in here? And I'll see it. I saw it more with V6 than I do with V7. But
see, I ain't got nothing demonic yet. You know what I mean?
That's weird. Dude, my stuff is dark. Like it goes back to that personality profile or the personality test.
Yeah,
that I did.
They never told us how they use that stuff, that information. I wonder if they did factor that into anything back end.
Yeah,
with the experience.
Interesting. Because
so I mean, is this way? Like you haven't seen anything demonic yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
it's good. It's like goats, man. Like that one on the left. Like I get a lot of stuff that looks like that.
Okay,
but like it's like goats, like goat heads.
Goats.
Yeah, like the
Satan stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's weird when I'm.
Damn.
Like, I'm just gonna skip this.
Actually, I will tell you though, I've run just Satan before, running through different SREF codes.
Really,
and some really kind of like cool looking shit comes out of it. By the way, I am not a Satanist at all. But
just a disclaimer.
It's just
everyone.
like, yo, this is kind of dope, though. Like, if I were into this is dope.
Have you tried Homesteader? Because Homesteader.
Let's do that too.
For me, whenever I do Homesteader, it makes it like horror movie, like gross.
Like these are all cool. These are all Satan,
See,
but with
this is
different
what like
codes.
this is like what my feed looks like on the personalization.
Is it? Like it's like, yo, come on. That's sick. There's some like really fucking dope ones. I mean, those are cool. These go back. I think we're in 6 now, but this looks like Nas X right here.
Yeah, that does look like little Nas X. Because everyone, we are not Satanists.
But like, dude, how cool is that?
Things.
You know what I mean?
That's a cool one. That's really cool.
It's like, shoot, dude.
Yeah, that's.
So Homesteader. Let's run that.
Dude, Homesteader
like this?
Okay. Like it's the weird. I get the weirdest stuff. We can show it if you want to. I'll pull it up. I'm not kidding. How weird it is.
Yeah.
It's like horror, like horror disturbing stuff.
That's interesting.
Interesting. I don't know why Homesteader, but I'm curious if yours comes out the same way as mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna run. Let's run Satan. Let's run.
Because every once in a while, I wonder if Midjourney's angry.
Like iconic album covers, an interesting one. Actually, like
album covers a good one.
I'll just say album cover. because sometimes when you do iconic album cover, you really do get like sort of like this baked in look of like top artist covers that have happened. If that makes sense, like Michael Jackson-ish, Prince,
Japanese movie poster.
Kind of
that one works.
Yeah, let's throw that one in there.
That and there's like, is Dribbble.com like, is that like Behance or whatever, or is that something different?
Yeah, you can do Behance.net. Remember we were doing
there was
HBO.com Stills Archive. I want to see how those work again. Stills Archive.
There run that.
Let's do like a 90. Let's do
P on or off for this one.
Well, we can do both, brother, because
540
fucking hours. We'll just run them. Let's do 25, 50. If this will let me run this many. And did I put do I have an AR in there? No. What ratio do you think we should do for this?
4-5 maybe.
4-5? Let's do 4-5.
It'll all stack nicely on top of each other.
Yeah. And then let's take this off. You said you could do profile none, right? I've never actually done that before. Okay.
You can do P, profile none, I think, or whatever the hell it is. I forget now at this point without doing it myself. Let's see what we got. And it did get faster. That was also part of the Midjourney update. Is that this got 3x faster? Like Turbo is really fast now.
Damn it.
Are you on relax mode?
No, I just had too many at once.
All right.
I wish they would just take those away, though.
Instead of just having this sit there.
Yeah, because now I got to claw through all these. But that's the good thing about running the same aspect ratio. I can just go boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, that's what a 4-5 or any of those vertical aspect ratios just sit so perfectly on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's a weird one to like.
There we go. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we're getting here.
Like we're ripping on batch processing right now.
Yep, we're messing up their servers here. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, like Okay, so whenever I do SREF discovery, I told you this. I usually just start with like that skull emoji because I feel like it's an easy concept for me to kind of see how far it's going to deviate away from that. Does it always include a skull? Does it not? Is there people? Like I can kind of get a sense of direction where it's going to go. But then once I do like kind of source through the ones that I like, then I'll run permutations with a couple of the same prompts every time. And Dribbble.com and Dribbble.com character are always two of them because I get really cool shit with those. I didn't run Dribbble.com character here, but you could just like, these are without SREF code, right? When you start to apply the SREF code to them, you get some really cool stuff.
That is cool. What are we still at Dribbble? What is this?
It's going to go through Dribbble. It looks like through all the XPs, I think.
Already XPs, got it.
Love that one. That one's dope.
Because then you take these and then you build SREFs off of them, right? Like that's what I do.
Here's your Homesteader.
All right. So look at the difference in your Homesteader. I just want everyone to take note of that. I just want everyone to take note.
Yeah, this guy looks normal, man.
That looks like a nice, happy scene. Like,
yeah,
look at your stuff. This is unbelievable.
Same with this guy.
Oh, come on. What is it with my profile that makes it up? See, we got start getting the goats. Start getting the goats and the lambs.
That's a lamb. That's a lamb.
Oh, I get goats. You'll see it. That's a good one. I like that.
I was gonna say that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Also, I've been finding myself using Describe a lot more lately now that it's been.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Like I'll take something like this when you run it and it's just like chaos, right? And it's like, oh, I like that. Let's try to pick some pieces out of this one specifically. I run it through Describe and then like see what I can do with it.
Oh, that's kind of wild.
That is a good one. I like that too.
I don't know. Yeah. It's like I don't even know why I like that, but that's sick. What is this? This is still chaos.
See, like this could be a whole mood board. These last 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is it. Oh, Satan. All right, never mind.
Yeah, here we go.
Chaos.
These will be good though.
Goat horns, always the goat horns.
Always. Damn.
I honestly think my Homesteader pictures are more disturbing than the Satan.
Are they really?
Yeah. So like this stuff.
That one.
See, I like with your profile, right? Like I know you do a lot of portrait work in there because like everything comes out in like portrait profile. You know what I mean? Like from your global. I've noticed that my P code does represent a lot of what I do from a composition standpoint as well. Like my own personal composition that I prompt for, not that I select in the personalization process.
Damn, these are interesting album cover turnbacks. I wouldn't have
thought you were gonna get like vintage stuff.
Here we go, mad Japanese movie poster here.
Sick. I always love the way this stuff comes out.
That's cool.
It is good. That super clean, just
cool.
like always like this aesthetic. That one.
Yeah.
Nice. That one's real nice.
Ooh.
Very cool.
I like that
Again.
one.
Yep. Very
on,
might as well very strong. Dude, I'm such a remix fiend because I would then take that and remix like 5 mood boards into it and just see what happens. Like,
really?
you know what I mean?
I'm so dialed into this. Okay, if I like it, upscaling it, I'm gonna very subtle. I'll strong it too because I want to see if I can get just a little bit better. Then I'll kind of see if there's anything interesting that spawns off of here.
Yeah,
I really don't do remix. And I'm not saying that's right. I just don't. But you know what? Like the other challenge with having, you'd think you like all these hours are good too, but that's the problem. You're not going to spend all this time finessing.
Yeah.
An individual photo, right? So it's like you don't appreciate it quite as much here, but that's pretty.
I like
work
that.
is mysterious, brother.
There it is. Always a good prompt.
Damn, that's cool.
Thank you, Severance, for that.
That's cool. Oh,
heyo. Do a lot of galaxy stuff with your profile too. Like you get a lot of like celestial sort of.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's like a V7 thing. I don't know why.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't get much of it, but that's interesting. What else did you? Oh, this Behance. Dude, oh my god, dude, so blue. Like,
yeah.
It's like a system prompt in there for you.
I mean, these are just these should absolutely crush. Should.
See portrait work. It's like it wants to give you portraits. But it's interesting how your profile affects everything. It's so different than mine.
Yeah, these are wild.
Yeah. I mean, again, you just did that and you probably have like 100 something images in there that are good to turn into something.
Yeah, that's the thing is you got to go through that, and then, okay, if you want to vary them, then you got to go through that. But yeah. So, anything else you want me to run while we're here? You want me to
let's see. How about I drop you this profile or try this profile code on something. This one the mood board that I made last night.
Okay. Yes. And that, put it in
direct
chat.
flash. Let's see. Here it is. For anyone who's interested, this one is like just been playing around with this one because I wanted the direct flash. Like it's just been good. Let's see. Profile. There it is. Come back to the recording. Bang. I'm wondering if something like that with like the Homesteader, like just throwing it onto Homesteader and that would give you something interesting, or like probably looks good with like party scenes or like a nighttime scenes, things like that. Because it's not. I don't think it's probably good for everything, but I love that. I love that direct flash look.
Yeah, no, it's dope. It's definitely cool. All right, here we go. Yeah,
very 90s.
All right, so what should I prompt with this? Do you want me to take a particular prompt?
Yeah, I was just doing random stuff. Like
let's run. Well, yeah, let's run a few things like late night party.
Yeah,
in the basement.
That's a good one.
Let's do
like people at a bonfire or something like that. Like that'll probably work. Like like wedding selfie,
Oh, there you go, like that.
something like that.
I'm gonna put party bus on here.
Party bus. That's good. Those will all work. Probably going to get some jacked up hands and stuff in a lot of this.
What aspect ratios you want to run?
I've just been doing 4:5 on these.
I'm gonna take this down a little bit. So let's go. Or actually, well, this is your profile. Is this a mood board or profile?
Yeah,
okay.
mood board.
Okay. So let's run this on a couple different. I honestly haven't played with Moodboard in a couple weeks. Are we still thinking that the S value strongly affects the Moodboard application?
Definitely.
Okay.
I think so, at least.
Well, then let's run that. Let's run that high then.
Because this one is like I've been like trying to replicate it so much. I'm like, let me just build a mood board out of the stuff that I already have. That worked. I don't have to do this anymore.
I'm going to do this too. Let's run some EXP on this. Okay, let's see what we got here.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Busted feet, but just like drunk.
Broken heel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that like realism grit to it.
Yeah.
Like 9. That's weird. See what I mean? Like what? This is sort of what comes from.
Yeah.
It's like dark. That's a winner
there.
right there. You got a leotard in the mix.
Shit.
So it's been.
That's cool.
It's interesting that it's like showing up. Maybe because that's 75.
That's cool.
Yeah, it does get that harsh, like stark contrast, that stark, like harsh lighting.
Okay, now these ones are dialed up a little bit. Stylized 500.
Yeah, so it starts to look more like it.
Damn, that one's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super candid. Like this one, that one right there with that dude and his wife.
Yeah.
Like that one looks real. Party bus. That's kind of cool. That was a good composition.
Yeah, these are dope.
So it's fun. It's a lot more realistic than some of the stuff that I get with these other generators. I mean, Midjourney just adds the spice to it, right? Like you can put the stuff in, you can put that same type of style aesthetic in ChatGPT and.
Oh, wow, that's some creepy shit right there. What is going on here?
Midjourney. It's just it knows that it's attached to me, so it has to be creepy.
Unbelievable.
But let me pull up because this is I'll pull up some of these and then I'll pull up Homesteader. But
do it. While you're doing that, I was running this same prompt over and over again with different codes, and I love these.
So simple, clean.
Like they're like I don't know, they're like just super vibey. I was like, dude, I love this shit.
String that together as like a GIF really fast, and it probably like just a really
trip
cool
out.
visual in general. Yeah,
have a DNC trip or some shit.
Let's see what we got here. All right, let me pull this in. So that's something else I'm working on. Where do these things go? Midjourney version 7. Where are we here? Can't even find it when I want to. This stuff, right? Like, I was digging these. Like, this is so. People were running the same prompt on ChatGPT and like Flux, and they were getting good stuff, but not like the detail, right? Like, there's some really solid detail in this. Like, even from the texture of the just like the body position, so much more. This one, I was like, this is a great.
I love that. I think that was my favorite one that you said.
Yeah, with the the hand, the shadow, like growing essentially. I was like, that's
that looks awesome. I like everything about that photo.
Yeah, because I just wanted this look, and like it's so hard to get this look with the dark. Like it never wants to be like night in any of these image generators. Like it just like doesn't want it.
That's a great point. That is a great point. Yeah,
it always wants to be like golden hour or. Like,
I mean, you'd have to like really That's like one of those where you still probably would have to like stuff the prompt, like with 2 or 3 synonyms or saying the same thing to get it to actually work, or to
midnight
multi-prompt it with strength. Yeah.
Only the flash illuminates the environment, like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But let me just see if I can find Homesteader here so you guys can just enjoy this. Let's go to organize. All right, so here we go. Not upscales.
Oh, yo. I just saw something.
Actually, maybe let's
we talking about like some like deliverance type of stuff here?
Dude, like, look at this. I just typed in Homesteader. Oh, well, this one I typed in with goat horns to like see how creepy it would get.
But
this one's
just cinema.
This guy's got goat horns.
Go to the last. Yeah, that one.
Guy's got blood on his shirt. Homesteader Epic Cinema. That's it with my profile code. And then we get this one. Like, what is going on here?
Whoa.
What is happening? Like,
whoa.
Right? I'm telling you. Like, it's very weird. Dude, like, M. Night Shyamalan or whoever, if you want some crazy art direction, I'm here. Because I got it. Now, this one, for whatever reason,
I'm going to run Epic Cinema here, too.
This one, let's take the upscales off, because then you'll see that I ran this a bunch of times and just how creepy it is. Like, this is to me kind of creepy. This just like creepy environment.
Yep.
Like I get so many things like this where it's just let's see, like this just odd. And like, why does Homesteader bring this out of Midjourney? Let's see if I can find some other ones that are creepy. I know I ran that, like, there's our goats. This one, he's got a guy with no face and a dog. This one, like, murderous child with blood on her shirt. Another just creepy child. Like, this looks like stuff out of a this looks like stuff out of a fucking horror movie.
Wow.
So, just in case anyone thinks, I'm joking or I'm playing around, like, Midjourney has like this dark side that I'm not even prompting for any of this. It's just being creepy as hell, and I don't know how to not get it to. Is there more? Is that a cow?
I just ran Homesteader Epic Cinema, and I did it with all the different EXPs. So what did I ran probably, I don't know, 5 or 6, and so out of that. What is that? 20 to 24 images. Only one sort of came out sort of kind of creepy.
It's just me, I guess. Like it's just.
I did get a good one though.
Hold on,
I'll have to show it to you.
Let's see if there's anything else here. Here, this one, like, let's just see if there's, because I ran it on V6 and V7 and it did the same thing for me. So that's not the one. Let's X out and we'll see what you did, because that's. I don't know why Homesteader.
And it's not. It's not.
Is there like a movie? Is there like a horror movie, Homesteader or something that it's pulling from?
It's got to be
like horror movie.
That's the one I got. That was the only creepy one.
Homestead 2003. Is this a horror movie?
But all the rest of these are.
Hold on, wait. What did I miss? Do you have them up? Oh crap! All right, here we go. Sorry, I was looking to see if
this was the only one I got that had that vibe.
PG in comparison.
Yeah, yeah. But I love that look on his face. That's tough. Yeah,
dude, your Homesteader comes out way cooler for you. Mine is nightmare fuel. I don't know why. I've run a few prompts that end up like nightmare fuel for no reason.
Let's put in nightmare fuel.
Oh well, there you go. I bet if I ran that with this profile code.
Oh my God, you'd probably get banned instantly.
While you're doing that, I'll run it here because this is just too.
And
ridiculous.
Then we'll end on this. This will be perfect nightmare fuel to wrap it up with. Let's run this. Oh yeah, so I can't wait to see what you're gonna get then.
I'm running 5 with V6 and this profile code because this was my V6 profile code that had all the weird stuff. So wish you could use the 6 profile code for 7. Damn. Stuff isn't even nightmare fuel.
Like let's see. Let's see. Like that one's crazy. That one's
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That one is that one will pucker you up for a little bit. Oh, you got some creepy stuff. All right,
had it in me.
There it is.
A little bit.
Good to know.
Damn, that one's kind of wild.
That you got a little bit of it.
Whoa.
Dude, your profile code, man.
Okay. And look at where I've throttled this all the way down to stylized 80.
I mean, it's just blue and pink. It just wants it. It just wants it in every
It's so annoying.
one.
It's so annoying.
Let's see. So here, that's yours. Now this one is, let's see, share. So this one, like,
oh, look at that one.
That's pretty cool.
Damn.
But not anything. This isn't Nightmare Fuel. This looks like, Tetris, not Tetris, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
That's kind of gross. But like nothing. Nightmare. This might be a little bit more Nightmare Fuel, but not.
Yeah,
crazy.
I got crazier stuff in 5. I had some real weird stuff in.
But if
5.
I do like Homesteader Epic Cinema, like I might get like just absolutely disgusting stuff, and we don't even know. Like I might just have to run this with my. I just want to see one thing real quick before we run out of here. Let's see if it actually is just that profile code. Maybe see if this new V7's not the same. All right, so here we go with the Homesteader Epic Cinema. Just wants to be creepy as hell.
Yeah, like that's got the vibe of like the family that goes on vacation and rents the house, or they moved into it. They had to move suddenly, and then they had, went into that house, and that stranger showed up or ghost show, whatever it is.
Yeah, like what's the
woods, the neighbor? No, I don't know.
The like dark wet dog. I mean, they got some creepy stuff here. They know how to do it. They definitely know how to do it. Then I ran it in V7, so maybe V7 a little bit less.
But that's creepy. Even without weird. I would think if you ran weird too, it'd even get creepier.
Like I actually like this stuff. Like this is cool. Like I would play around with this.
Yeah.
This is not the Homesteader of V6. Let's put it that way. But
the Homesteader, baby.
Who knows if anyone wants to give that a whirl and let us know how it goes for you. Hope you don't end up with stuff like this, which is just so odd and got a gun pointed at it. I don't know what goes on, man. Midjourney, I think, got a little bit angry with
well, I'm curious to see what happens with this SREF stuff. Actually, show me something there. Obviously interested with the video, but I don't think we'll see anything for at least another month. I wouldn't even think it's going to be June if I had to take a guess. But yeah, could be wrong.
We'll see. I'm saying August. That's just my guess. I'll put it out there.
Yeah,
I'll be long on it.
Well, also look at what trips you have coming up. You probably get a pretty good sense of what's happening. Yeah.
The next conference is July.
There you go.
It'll be then. You're right.
There you go.
That's correct. So,
all right,
anything
brother.
else, dude? Anything else? Good.
Nothing else. I've got to do some more running. I haven't really been able to play with Midjourney as much as I wanted to this week, and got a lot of hours to burn. Maybe like if I actually do have some free time too, I'll maybe just take requests and just run a bunch of stuff.
It's not a bad idea.
Or
not a bad idea.
Maybe we just unlock all the SREFs, and then what we do is we take credit anytime anybody else ever unlocks it.
Shares it. It's like, that was mine actually.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who cares? Never understood that.
Oh.
It's so weird to me.
Oh my God.
But it's like,
all right, man.
It's like, let's just so everyone who's still here, do all of this. You've already liked, you've already subscribed, but tell someone else to, or share it, or whatever.
There you go.
We're going to have some guests coming up, I think, over the next couple weeks as the summer probably slows down. Midjourney updates are probably going to slow down for a little bit. We're going to try to bring some interesting people on here. We've got a few conversations teed up just so everyone is aware that we're probably going to a little bit of a guest model every once in a while here so that you guys don't have to listen to me and Drew running Homesteader prompts every once in a while on the end of a an episode. But if there's anyone you guys are interested in too, you think would be a great guest, or you're interested to hear from, drop it in the comments. Let us know. Always interested to talk to people who are doing this stuff on a daily basis or just nerding out like us. So that's my disclaimer for the end of the episode. But
well said, man.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.